Greetings and welcome to part 8 of Unlocking the Matrix. Now, there is a lot of strange things in this world. You'll probably see a typical report on Facebook where you'll see court cases where you'll get rapists, paedophiles, getting almost minuscule sentences or walking free from court. The reason for that is because we have a criminal justice system, and that is exactly what it is. It is a system of justice that is operated by criminals. There is also a growing problem with health. Unfortunately, we live in a world which is a paradox. On the one hand, you have the information at your fingertips on your mobile phones, your cell phones, your laptops, your iPads, access to the internet of all things with all the information there. But it is like everything in this life, you need to look into these things for yourself. I am not going to give you the answers. I'm just going to give you the pointers, but you have to do the work yourself because it is in your best interests to find out this information. What I will tell you is that the human body renews every cell in 19 months. So basically you are renewed completely in a 19-month period. Your stomach lining will renew in just 4 days. And every facet of your daily life is affected in ways that probably most of you have not even thought of. Yes, a lot of you are aware about fluoridization of water. There is also the problem with plastic bottles with the bottled water. It's also your toiletries, what you put on your skin. I don't know how many of you are aware that you have glands under your armpits. So if you use a lot of these deodorants and things, you are putting poisons directly into your body. It is the same with the food you eat. The picture is becoming very apparent that everything that we have been told is a lie, right down to what is classed as a weed in the garden. For example, the dandelion. Every part of a dandelion is edible, and it also has magnificent properties that combat cancer. Anybody that tells you there is no cure for cancer is either ignorant or a liar. There is plenty of herbs and natural methods of getting rid of cancer, not least fresh fruit and vegetables. But it is like everything, you need to look into the source of where you get this food from. There is so much you can do, so much you can look into if you are prepared to put the effort in. But I cannot stress this enough, you have to make the effort. Nothing is hidden. It's the same with medications. Before you even get to that stage, before you entrust a doctor to look after your health and tell you what is in your best interests, I would suggest that you look into the Hippocratic Oath that they take and why it was changed in 1964. So it has now been reworded. On the one hand, it still says that they will not play God, followed by the inserted amendment that says they have the power over life and death. Well, if that isn't acting and playing God, I don't know what is, going by what most people's conception of what God is. But medications, I would seriously recommend that you all look at the insert leaflet and you look into the ingredients in these things, and if you don't know what they are, go on the internet and look them up for yourself. It is said that in court that ignorance is no defence in the eye of the law. Well, what about natural law? See, this is the only debt that you have to yourself, which is to look into all these things and find out this information for yourself. It's a very true saying that if you want something done, then you need to get off your arse and do it yourself. And that applies to your own health and that of your loved ones as well. The information is there to be found. You can look at patent numbers of things, and there are some quite alarming things with that. I would also look into things like 5G and Wi-Fi and the effects it has on the human body. The official narrative and a lot of the social media narrative, which is also controlled deliberately to mislead, will not tell you the truth. You need to go through all this stuff yourself. But it is worth the effort. I'm living proof of that because I am not registered with any doctor. I will not entrust my health to somebody else. Who is going to tell me more if there is something wrong than my own body? If I get a pain somewhere in the body, then that is my body telling me there is something wrong. And certainly with doctors, you look at their, like I said, you look at their oath and then decide whether you still want to use a doctor. Also look at the motives. Are they getting backhanders from the pharmaceutical industry? Are they pushing things that are not in your best interests? I'm not saying that all doctors are a party to this, but certainly from the evidence seen, this certainly seems to be the case. When it comes to approaching local government, you'll find that there are things put in place that make it almost impossible for you to raise questions that are in the interests of the public. It's going to come to a point where the public has to take steps for itself, because it is clearly evident that governments are not on the side of the people. They are not elected, they are selected. There are a lot of people out there who watch soap operas, but at the end of the day, these political things that go on are nothing more than a glorified soap opera as well. So I'm going to leave that there, but do leave comments in the feedback. If you want any advice on anything, then please leave a comment on that, and I will do my best to point you in the right direction or direct you to someone else who is more of an expert in a particular thing. But I would seriously suggest all of you look at your diets, look at what you are putting into your body and onto your skin. That is your best defense you will ever have, is to use your brain and use some common sense and decide for yourself what is right for you. So that's the end of this episode 8 of Unlocking the Matrix. There will be more videos on various other topics. I may even do a daily breakdown on various bits and pieces. For example, look at washing powders for clothes and your bedding and your towels. Look into air fresheners, look into fabric conditioners. Look to see if they give off fumes. Also think about the effect that they may be having on the environment and on Earth and in the manufacturing process. I would also seriously look at anything you buy. Ask yourself, do you really need it? Do you really want it? How much is it going to cost you in terms of finance as well as health? Thank you.